Arnold Q1.
And you have to be pithy. What do I mean by pithy? How about this? Republicans want to kill your kids.
Ah! What in the name? No!
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I'm sure you're aware of what TDS is. It's Trump Derangement Syndrome. But some people can cure it. You can defeat it with some amount of reality checks, or perhaps family or friends that care about you. For others, it gets metastasized in their body. And this journo, this woke Washington Post journo, has issued what is perhaps the most unhinged anti-Trump rant I've seen yet. I would suspect, again, this is from the party of words, cause real world harm. They continue to ratchet it up because they want another person to try and go after Trump, in my opinion. This is one of the most wild stories yet. So let's get into it. Huge shout out to Coffee Brand Coffee's Advent calendars, shipping now. Check this out. This Christmas season, I'm bringing you something really special. The Coffee Brand Coffee Advent calendar. It's packed with 12 surprises, including 8 incredible coffee roasts, 2 rich real cacao cocos, and 2 sweet chocolatey treats. Plus, the calendar itself is built to impress with high quality that just feels luxurious. Inside, you'll find easy to follow brewing instructions for whatever you use, a K-cup machine, a French press, or a plastic drip coffee maker. We even include our single-serve pour-over filters so you can make your cup easily. All you'll need is hot water and a mug. And here's one of the best parts. You can follow along with me personally during the 12 days of coffee. I'm going to be using the calendar too. So whether you're treating yourself or looking for the perfect gift, don't miss out. Order your Coffee Brand Coffee Advent Calendar now. Let's make this Christmas season one to remember. And don't forget, we also have gift boxes available too. Washington Post columnist, Jeff Bezos' employee, sparks backlash with deranged rant claiming Trump's cabinet picks want to end your children's lives. I mean, look at that freeze frame. Washington Post columnist Jennifer Rubin was universally mocked after claiming Democrats should tell voters that Donald Trump's cabinet picks want to end their kids. Rubin, 62, former conservative commentator at the Jeff Bezos-owned paper, now largely advocates for Democrats on her podcast listened to by tens of people, Jen Rubin's Green Room. She gave shocking advice to liberals going forward after Trump's victory of Kamala Harris. Quote, "You have to boil it down to nuts and bolts. You have to be pithy," she said. You mean lie. When saying how Democrats can get their message to low information voters. Again, they're always talking about low information voters, uneducated voters. This is not unusual. This is something that liberals, it's like this baked in liberal elitism, that they have, that they think they're just better than you. They're better than everybody else. She then asked, what do I mean by pithy? She said, how about this? Republicans want to end your children's lives. It's actually true. Rubin cited a Trump cabinet choice such as Robert F. Kennedy, who has disputed claims in the past for Secretary of Health and Human Services. She also complained about conservatives' pro-2A agenda. Quote, if you're going to oppose jabs, if you're going to stop breakthrough medical research, if you're going to allow minors and all sorts of people to get semi-automatic weapons and they go fire on schools, maybe you should ask the trans community why they're doing that. When you're responsible for kids' health and death, she said. Of course, libs of TikTok. Democrats, we need to tone down the rhetoric. How did politics get so divisive? Jen Rubin, Democrats' message should be that Republicans want to end your kids. Conservatives on social media immediately met her with an equally pithy response. Let's actually look at this woman's video. I don't want to put words in her mouth. Maybe she didn't say that.
You can't talk broad themes. You have to boil it down to nuts and bolts, and you have to be pithy. What do I mean by pithy? How about this? Republicans want to kill your kids. It's actually true. If you're going to oppose vaccinations, if you're going to stop breakthrough medical research.
By the way, as far as I can tell, RFK has only asked questions about these type of things. I'm pretty sure if a parent wants to get these things for their kids, there's nobody stopping. As far as I know, maybe there's video that exists, okay? I don't think RFK's ever said, hey, if parents want to go get these things for their kids, it's going to be forbidden.
If you're going to allow minors and all sorts of people to get semi-automatic weapons, which they use to shoot up schools, well, then you are responsible for kids' health and death, unfortunately.
How about the Democrats literally starting World War III? How about that? These people are so deranged. Conservatives on social media immediately met her with equally pithy response. Quote, Jen Rubin hides under protected posts while telling her audiences that Republicans want to end your kids. No, it's the Democrats that die on the hill of abortion, and abortion kills. Abortion cost over 1 million unborn babies in 2023 alone. If you think about 1 million lives snuffed out. You mean to tell me that there weren't a couple thousand of those parents that couldn't have made it work? You mean to tell me that all 1 million of those babies were for the health of the mother? 1 million. Citizen Free Press wrote, Jen Rubin is a garbage human, one of the 5 most annoying Democrat bootlickers in mainstream media. Libs of TikTok added, Democrats, we need to tone down rhetoric. How did politics get so divisive? Then that. Jen Rubin is a deranged elderly leftist, a witch who has claimed to be conservative for years, now claims Republicans want to end your kids. This is how pathetic the media is getting, wrote Tim Young. I mean, this is basically the Nikki Haley voter, right? This is simply the Nikki Haley voter. Rubin signed an op-ed on behalf of several Washington Post columnists outraged that the paper refused to nominate or to endorse Kamala Harris. By the way, just as I want to put this out, paper's endorsements mean nothing. A Joe Rogan endorsement probably means a little something. Still not as much as, general people's, feelings about how life in general is going. It's not really, they think that poor people are stupid too. They think that middle-class people are stupid. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions that liberals have. They think that working class people in America that live paycheck to paycheck, that work that extra overtime in order to take their family on vacation like my parents always did, okay? They think my parents are stupid. They're not. They're hardworking Americans who are not living their lives terminally online. That doesn't make them low information. Okay, that makes them trying to survive. And this liberal elite class of weirdos is just, unrelenting. Again, this is the Washington Post decision not to make an endorsement in the presidential campaign is a terrible mistake. It represents an abandonment of fundamental editorial convictions of the newspaper that we love. This is the moment for the institution to be making it clear its commitment to democratic values. You mean with the presidential candidate that was not voted in, that was literally installed by Nancy Pelosi? Is that what you're talking about? Is that the democratic process you're talking about? I mean, that's what it seems like to me, right? There is no contradiction between the Post's important role as an independent newspaper and the practice of making political endorsements. What do you mean? Of course there is. If you're independent, then you don't tell people who to vote for. I mean, this election, I maybe got into it more than normal, but my longtime viewers know that, my position is that I just want you to vote. I mean, I'm going to make a recommendation. But, in all my videos I made, did you see me upload a video saying, this is who I think you should vote for? No. I know that there are people that watch my channel that don't vote. I know there are people that watch my channel that are global that don't vote in the United States elections. And I know there are people on my channel that voted for other people. Okay? All are welcome here. I don't think I'm better equipped to tell you what to do about your own life than you are. She has also been calling for a boycott, by the way, this woman, of MSNBC, a network she often appears on, as a response to the host daring to go have a meeting with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. The Washington Post boss hit back and claims that it was Jeff Bezos who squashed the paper's endorsement of Kamala Harris. He says, wow, Washington Post columnist Jeff Rubin says Democrats need to mess with this kind of stuff. She should be fired over this if there's any sanity left on the world. The outlet, which is owned by billionaire Amazon founder, announced it will not be supporting in either side the candidate or the election. A Harris endorsement had been drafted and was reviewed by Bezos, according to the paper's page editor, Dave Shipley, but was spiked just 11 days before the election. At least one editor resigned. Imagine being an editor at a news outlet, okay, an editor at a newspaper, and then quitting that job because the newspaper you work at isn't biased enough. That's literally what these lunatics did. You know, I don't know a better description or a better example of why mainstream media is so mistrusted, is so wildly biased. I mean, this is a microcosm of the exact reason why nobody trusts mainstream media. You have journalists quitting their job because they won't be partisan. That's not what news is supposed to do. It's never been what news is supposed to do. I don't really even understand why these people think that, I don't know. It is weird to me. I don't know. These people are deranged lunatics. They are the problem with society. They think they know better than everybody when they don't. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.